Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the channel. For today's video, I'm up in beautiful Muskoka and I'm staying at the Tiny House. And yes, it's actually called the Tiny House, but it's spelled H-A-U-S instead of H-O-U-S-E, which I think is a pretty clever name. Before we get into it, I'd like to ask you guys to please consider subscribing to my channel. I post travel videos, hiking videos, and now I'm expanding and featuring beautiful cabins like this that I find online, which you guys can rent and enjoy as well. So I'll be taking you guys through this beautiful tiny home right here in the heart of cottage country in Ontario. The minimal design together with the modern finishes makes this tiny home the perfect place to stay for exploring the northern woods. This cabin is listed on Airbnb, so if you guys are interested in staying here, I'll leave a link down in the description below. I'll also throw down my referral link, so if this is your first time staying here through Airbnb, you can save an extra $45 off this cabin. Okay, starting off with location, this tiny house is located about 2 hours up north from Toronto. It is nestled into the woods of Muskoka, Ontario, which is where most Torontonians love to enjoy their summer vacation when they head up to the cottage. The area is filled with a lot of different lakes, which you can enjoy fishing on or even taking the boat out and enjoying the sun. There are also numerous provincial parks in the area, the biggest and most popular of which, of course, is Algonquin Provincial Park. It's only an hour and 20-minute drive further up north from the tiny house, which I definitely think it's worth checking out for some awesome day hiking. On the outside, you'll notice that there's plenty of space on the property on which the tiny house sits on. You'll also notice that the entire house is surrounded by a forest, which gives you plenty of privacy and really emphasizes that cottage feeling by being away from any major highways or buildings. The flat black color of the tiny home gives it this minimal aesthetic, which I personally love. Making our way inside, you immediately notice the beautiful naturally exposed wood, with some walls and the stairs being painted black to match the window frames and the kitchen cabinets. I personally love this combination of color tones because I think it gives the home a modern and earthy look. Looking at the kitchen, we notice that there are definitely no compromises here. With a full-size refrigerator, oven, sink, and microwave, this kitchen has all the tools to make you feel like you're cooking right at home. The owners have even included a coffee machine, a coffee grinder, a soda stream machine, and a 2-slice toaster. One of my favorite parts about this kitchen is how it's actually split into two. On the left side, you have the sink with decent counter space for drying dishes, prepping some food, or even pouring yourself a drink. And contrasting that on the right side, you have this massive counter space for making coffee, making a soda, or even preparing your next meal. Together with this awesome low boat-shaped spice rack and a cutting board, this is truly the ultimate tiny home kitchen. Below the counter, there's plenty of cabinet and drawer space to hold all your dishes, pots, pans, and utensils for cooking. The kitchen also has 3 shelves, one longer one above the sink and 2 smaller ones on the far end. The longer shelf holds all the glasses and mugs, and the smaller shelves are used for some decorations, a coffee press, and storing some camping books. There's plenty of lighting in the kitchen with these pot lights placed directly above the counter and a ceiling fan that has a light housed inside of it. But a lot of natural light flows into the kitchen as well through these small windows directly in front of the counter and a huge window right next to the refrigerator. You can use the full blackout curtain to cover up that big window if you prefer your privacy. In the center of the kitchen, you'll notice there is a decently sized dining table with seating for 4 that has plenty of space, so you definitely don't feel cramped. Okay, moving on to the living space, we get the same openness and roomy feel as we did in the kitchen, with high ceilings and plenty of space to sit. There's a rocking chair, a futon that turns into an extra bed, and a couch. A modern-looking coffee table sits in the middle of the room, which has a cool pouch on the side of it to store some more books and records. There's a Bluetooth radio on top of the cabinet and a little wine fridge right next to it for easy access. To finish it off, there's also a big horizontal mirror just above the cabinet. There's plenty of lighting in the living room, again thanks to the pot lights on the ceiling, and this unique-looking egg-shaped chandelier hanging directly above the coffee table. Natural light floods in through these big clear glass doors which lead into the patio area, which is where we'll be headed to next. The patio area at the back of the house is enclosed with mesh to keep the bugs out and a roof to keep the rain out. This makes it a nice area to hang out in all year round since you're not fully exposed to the elements of nature, but still can get some fresh air. The space is mostly constructed of big window panels so you get plenty of natural light. You can also flick the switch and the ceiling lights will come on to offer more light when it gets dark. The patio is actually like another living room if you think about it, because it has tons of space, 2 chairs, and even its own coffee table. The true sign that this is a patio is the propane barbecue that sits in the corner. Again, because this is an enclosed patio, you can barbecue all year round without having to worry about the rain, snow, or bugs. Moving back inside, we'll head upstairs to check out the bedroom. As we make our way upstairs, I just want to quickly mention how well these handrails fit into the minimal aesthetic of this tiny home. They're completely black with glass inserts to keep anyone from falling through. It's a small detail, but I think they really fit into the style of the home. The bedroom is a little more stylized with this wood flooring as opposed to the concrete we had downstairs. The black metal and oak bed frame follows the same color tones we've seen throughout the rest of the house. Each side of the bed gets its own bedside table, along with a small lamp on top of them. There's an electrical outlet right behind the bed so you can charge your devices there, or if you prefer a more easily accessible outlet, there are 2 on the wall right in front of the bed, and there's also another one right next to the window. There's also this nice wide chair that actually folds down into a single bed, which is a great idea to save space. The bedroom gets its own ceiling fan, again with a built-in light like we saw downstairs. 3 big windows next to the bed and a little window above the bed light up the room with more natural light. Each big window has its own blackout curtain, so you can enjoy your privacy. One last little thing that I personally think completes this bedroom is this coat rack that hangs on the same wall where the light switches are. The last space in the house that we'll go through is the bathroom. This one is kind of unique since it's split into 2. On one side you have the toilet on one end and the sink with a mirror on the other, and on the other side you have the shower. The space with the toilet and the sink also has 2 small windows on the side wall. The shower is decently sized and gets the job done. It's definitely unique to see the bathroom split up like this, but I didn't have any issues with this setup. It's been a great experience staying here at the tiny house. My favorite part of my stay is realizing that tiny living doesn't have to mean sacrifice. You can live in a tiny home and yet enjoy all the luxuries you would in a regularly sized house. Something I've been thinking about for the last couple of years is building my own tiny home. But I've always had this fear that I would have to give up a lot of the luxuries that I like to use on a daily basis. But after staying in this tiny home, I absolutely don't have that fear anymore. And when it comes time for me to build my own home, I'll definitely be taking a lot of cues from this tiny house. Alright, that wraps up the video for this week. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to hit that like button and make sure to also hit the subscribe button so you guys stay tuned for all my upcoming videos. Also share this video with your friends and your family so you guys can come up here and experience Muskoka in this beautiful tiny home. If you have a unique cabin or a tiny home that you'd like me to make a video about, reach out to me and we can talk about featuring it here on the channel. Thanks again, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Ciao.